To the Austrian Grand Prix. We have 5 red lights about to come on, and it's lights out, turn away we go. Then Verstappen leads away as we head down into turn 1. Vettel on in second place, and Leclerc goes around the outside, and it looks like all the cars have got through turn 1 unscathed then there as we head now up into turn 2, and Verstappen leading away. Lovely stuff then out there from the Red Bull driver as Leclerc has a look up around the outside into turn 2 as we head further down the grid then here. And yeah, Verstappen looking very lovely, looking like he's controlling this one overall as we head on to Charles Leclerc, and you can see Leclerc looking down the inside at Verstappen, but Verstappen looking like he's doing a very lovely job actually right now out in front as we head now halfway through the lap here, and it's Verstappen leading Leclerc, leading Vettel, Bottas in 4th. Further back we got Albon, Hamilton, then we got Grosjean, followed by the 2 Renaults, then, one Renault of Ricciardo and the 2 McLarens. So heading back up at front as we now come across the line to complete lap 1 as we head once again up into turn 1. And, oh, what's that? It's Leclerc, I think, actually here. Let's see. And Leclerc out of this race as Vettel inherits second place. And yes, Leclerc parks up at the end of turn 1 with a engine failure as Bottas goes down the inside of Sebastian Vettel as Vettel will come back on the exit and gets a nice switchback maneuver then there. Beautiful from the German driver to get back, but will Bottas have another look down into turn 3 we go, and Bottas does put his car there, but Vettel closes the door and pinches the Finnish driver out then as we now head on to lap 2. And it's very overcast actually here today at the Austrian Grand Prix. But anyway, Albon a bit further back right now in P4. And the action is further behind us as Hamilton parrying obviously the back of Romain Grosjean, and Hamilton having a look. Will he make the move stick? Down the inside goes Lewis Hamilton to take what is now 5th place in this Austrian Grand Prix. A lovely move by the British 6-time world champion driver. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. And he will get now the run out of turn 1. Open up the DRS, he does. And this will be surely a easy move then this time. Unlike the move on Grosjean, easily now up into P4. And that's now Hamilton up further grid. Looking back what's going on in front, not much really occurring. It's still Verstappen leading the way from Vettel, from Bottas. And yeah, them two, Bottas and Vettel, are very close together. Followed by the Hamilton and obviously Albon in P4 and P5. Ricciardo obviously seems to have a big train of at least around, well, quite a number of cars behind him. But only one of those of, I believe it's Giovinazzi, is it? No, sorry, Kimi Räikkönen. Okay, right now is up his gearbox as we head once again to complete lap 3 as we come down the hill. And Räikkönen will get the DRS, will have the slipstream. Can he get past on the start-finish straight? I do wonder, as he goes up the inside of Daniel Ricciardo maybe. Will he make the move stick? No, but he will get a second chance at the DRS here. As we now head up into turn 2, up the hill, then we go, and Kimi Räikkönen this time opting for the outside line, but Ricciardo will have it there on the inside. Who's got the DRS? Will Ricciardo pick it up? I'm not too sure. Ricciardo does pick up the DRS this time now, but can Ricciardo make a comeback then here? Ricciardo having a look, but nothing then there coming of it. And further downfield now, once again we go, just looking for some nice action and not too much. Who's at the back of the grid? Because we haven't really shown you much from back here. And we got 2 Toro Rossos of Gasly, and then right at the back we have Robert Kubica. Right now, where is George Russell then here? And there's George, like in probably P15 right now, a bit high up for the Williams driver, doing a lovely job right now in his Williams car right now in probably P16, and you can see it's actually starting to rain. So these conditions are now starting to become a bit tricky for the drivers then here, as we're going to head further back, and Ricciardo now making a move now, doing what Raikkonen did earlier, but Raikkonen this time will have the inside line going into turn 2. However, Sainz trying to stick his car around the outside of a finished driver. Can he make the move stick? They're both going to have a DRS, so effectively the DRS is going to cancel one another out. So it's now a drag race down into turn 3. Raikkonen late brakes, but they're still fighting side by side almost. Brilliant stuff from the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo driver. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Further up in front, not too much going on. And this time now, Vettel has taken the lead somehow, whilst that's all been going on behind us. So we didn't, unfortunately, pick whatever move Vettel made up. But it is starting to rain, and you can see Vettel doing a lovely job right now out in front in this Grand Prix then. And yeah, we are driving as Vettel, but yeah, we didn't obviously pick that move up that we made earlier on in this Grand Prix. And actually Hamilton starting to close in on the top 3 then here as this race does further progress. And yeah, obviously right now very, very close between the 3 of them, only about a second separating them all. And yeah, looking very, very lovely stuff. We get this now beautiful aerial shot of the German driver, followed by his 2 rivals in the Mercedes and the Red Bull. And a very lovely shot. I love this shot actually. Probably my favourite shot of a Formula 1 car, you know, the helicopter aerial shot. Literally absolute beautiful to see, because, you know, it really shows the speed of what these cars really do in their absolute peak. And heading down the hill to finish, what are we on now? Lap maybe 5 or lap 7? I'm going to say we're on lap 7 now. Probably. We're about approaching the pit stop window in theory. And heading up the hill, and Bottas looking very close actually as we're getting up the hill. And Bottas will have a DRS. Will Bottas be able to make a move in here? As we go up the hill, Bottas getting closer, closer and closer as we go defend the outside line. Bottas comes through. Bottas will get the DRS, but another beautiful switchback by the German driver. Absolutely fantastic stuff then there. What a brilliant manoeuvre. But Bottas again having a look down the inside, but nothing coming of it. So that's probably Bottas behind for another lap then. Further back, and once again we've still got this awesome battle going on between the Ricciardo and Kimi Raikkonen. Around the outside, can Ricciardo make the move stick? He's still there, he's still holding on in the corner just about, but Raikkonen now keeps the position once again. But this battle is going to continue by the looks of it all day long between them two by the looks of it. And further back, not really too much going on. They're just all following now one another in a train. Not too much action to report on further back down the field. But once again, Vettel out of the turn 1, looking very good. But this time I don't think it's going to be really Bottas having a manoeuvre on Sebastian. We'll have to wait and see as we come into turn 2. And yeah, just looking good now for Sebastian. And we're now getting into that stage where we're starting to see the track getting a bit more greasy. A few more errors been made. Yeah, it's looking certainly a little bit more greasy out there. And certainly going to be struggling to keep heat in those soft tyres now as we progress further on into this race. Verstappen right now in 3rd, Hamilton 4th, Albon 5th right now, and quite big gaps now starting to open up on the racetrack as Ricciardo once again gets back into P6. Then there, another move by the Aussie driver, and can he now gap Carlos Sainz? That is the ultimate question. Or will Raikkonen and Ricciardo make a comeback in this race? It is really, really tough to say how things are going to develop here as we're moving certainly very much closer to the pit stop window, and you can see it's getting heavier and heavier, that rain, and the track is just going to get ever so damper as the laps go on. Now Sainz having a look now at Daniel Ricciardo. Into turn 1 we go once again. Will he have a go now into turn 2? He's looking very close, right up the gearbox of that Renault car of Daniel Ricciardo. And will his rival Kimi Raikkonen follow him through? Raikkonen on the outside, Ricciardo on the inside. But Ricciardo, well, is he there? Let's see. Raikkonen does get through. Now Raikkonen will have a DRS on Sainz and Slipstream. Can Raikkonen get Sainz as we head down into turn 3? Raikkonen, will he be able to put his car around the outside? I doubt it in these damp conditions. And no, he won't. But still, lovely racing going on between all three of them. Absolutely beautiful to see this racing happen here. And yeah, even racing all through the field, really lovely to see what's going on. As we now head another lap, and still Vettel leads, Bottas still leading, obviously Verstappen leading, Hamilton leading Albon, who's sort of in no man's land right now. Alex Albon is, and I feel very sorry for him, because there's no one for him to race up in front, but just no one for him to race either behind. As you can see, another lap goes on, and another battle between for the Alfa Romeo driver, and this time the Alfa Romeo driver doesn't have DRS, so whilst he may have a slipstream, and very aggressive defending them there from Kimi Raikkonen, will he get the DRS also now? Let's see, this is very interesting in the race actually here. Yes, Kimi does get the DRS, Sainz doesn't, but this may help Kimi, I'm not too sure here, because effectively gives Kimi a little bit of a gap now behind him. Is this going to help Kimi or not? I'm not too sure what will happen, but brilliant. Again, so many times they've switched places during this race, M3. As once again, another lap basically completed then here, as the top three still remaining the same. And yeah, I'm not too sure how long these three are going to go for. But you can see they're starting to get a bit slidey out of the corners now here. And yeah, it is starting to get more and more wetter as the track just evolves into its natural, now wet layout sort of thing. And you just see another bit of wheel spin from Sebastian's car. And yeah, that to me suggests the track is getting ever so damper then here as we head down the hill into turn 3. But Vettel's car looking also very good as well off the traction corners, where out of turn 3 through the long left-hander, and a bit wide there from Sebastian, but still okay. About a second now between the top two, as about 3 seconds probably splitting right now. The top also 3 overall. So gaps are starting to emerge out front now, and again we continue on this path for another lap at least. And yeah, right now not too much to report on, but Hamilton is closing now. Look how close now Hamilton is to the top 3. He's really gone closer, as further back you can now see, and once again Ricciardo has now taken the lead of that midfield pack. But I'm sure it won't remain like that for too long, as I'm sure they have other plans then there, as Raikkonen will get the DRS once again then here on the Renault driver, and down the inside Raikkonen goes. Raikkonen will have a double use of DRS then here, will he? And yes, he will. Opens up DRS again, but yeah, once we can see Raikkonen gets past another time up into that 6th position. It's like no one wants to be in 6th today, or if they are, they're not in 6th for an awful long time, as Sainz now will be Raikkonen's challenger for that 6th position, but not able to do it down this straight by the looks of it. It looks too far back for me, to tell you the truth. And yeah, very awesome battle going up and behind us, and as these lot continue on for another lap then, as the track continues to just get damper and damper then here. And yeah, you can now start to see that, the rain lights are flashing on the back of these cars. Yes, okay, they harvest energy, but when there is rain, and Vettel's off at turn 1, hits the grass a little bit as well, so surely that is a mistake by Sebastian. Is that meaning the track is getting damp now to the point where intermediate tyres are almost ready? I'm not sure, but if it does, Well, maybe they are ready this lap, but they're looking very fragile out of turn 2 as well. But again, so was Bottas actually, and you just see Vettel's able to open up the gap again. So yeah, I think now the track is ready now for the intermediates as we are on lap 13 now of this race here. As yeah, I just think it's now time for them to come in, and again they're wide through that high speed left hand of turn 4 as we go into the high speed left hand of turn 5, and they just don't look like they've got the traction. Look like traction is now struggling everywhere. Will we see Vettel dive into the pits? And Bottas is coming in, that's for sure, and Vettel will also follow by the looks of it as well. So Vettel's in, Bottas in. Okay, now it's the question, do you go for slicks or do you go for inters? Let's see what's going to go on Sebastian's car here, as we can see. And it is the inters then there. And same with, obviously, with Bottas and Verstappen, I think. Yep, so all the top three have gone for the intermediate tyres. And Hamilton will take the lead of this race. So it does look like now drivers are now starting to box for the inters. And yeah, we've got a whole train of cars. And this pit lane is about to become a very busy pit lane indeed. What will they do? As we can see, Raikkonen heading down the pit lane here, and now the pit stop battle does commence, and it looks like Raikkonen a bit delayed there for whatever known reason. Very unknown why he was delayed, but that has lost him a couple of positions in there in the pit stop phase. As you know, basically now those who are on slicks, who've not decided to double stack, will obviously lose that advantage now. And yeah, let's see what's going to go on then here as we get a nice cockpit cam. And look how fragile Hamilton is coming into the pit lane then here. He's certainly going to be taking a set of intermediate tyres as he trembles into the pit lane then there, and on goes his set of inters and away he goes. But he will now rejoin. Well, where will he rejoin? Because don't forget, Albon came in slightly before him, so we could see very close on exit between himself and Alex Albon. I'm not too sure. We will see. How close is it between the British driver and the driver from Thailand? Let's see. Not that close. Looks like there is a good distance between the two. Even though, where is Albon actually? Albon is there. Where is Albon? Can't see Albon. Albon seemingly. Where is Albon? Is Albon out of this race? I think Albon may be out. Oh no, he isn't. No, he's just there. For whatever reason, couldn't pick him up on my camera. But yeah, there's Albon. And he's dropping back down into the midfield pack then there. And Vettel's now starting to build a gap actually on these intermediate tyres as the drivers all come round now to complete lap. We're on like 15 now and only 3 more laps to go. So yeah, looking very calm now up in front of this race as we drop further back. And the racing behind us has been very actually entertaining, especially between, well, between Ricciardo and Raikkonen and Sainz. But not too much now going on behind. Perez there, trembling around on his intermediate tyres, as Norris has certainly, I think, lost out here of what I can see. Who's actually gained? So Vettel's gained, not really many have gained here. I guess the two big gainers would have to be probably, probably Sainz and Ricciardo, actually, who's gained a position. Right, will we see this battle between Ricciardo and Raikkonen commence once again? Let's see. As we head up into turn 2, and obviously no DRS in these wet conditions. We're on the last, like now, 3 laps of this Grand Prix. And in fact, Albon looking very slow on the inters, because look how close Sainz is now to the back of actually Alex Albon. Sainz, will he have a move down the inside? No, not close enough then here. And you've got to be actually very close, obviously, in these conditions. You can't really go for a half-hearted lunge. It's got to be a proper lunge down the inside if you're going to make the move stick. And, yeah, just not close enough that time. As you can see now, the gap to the top three. And, yeah, you can just see how close they are. Well, between, obviously, Bottas and Verstappen, but yeah, really these three look like they've got their race sorted and done and dusted. But Alex Albon, however, looking like he may be in a, well, may sort of be under threat here by Carlos Sainz. We'll see. And it's just looking a bit now dull, this race, as it's turning out a little bit. I'm not going to lie, it's sort of become a bit dull on the track action. Not too many positions changing or swapping around. There's not a lot. But what will Stroll have here? Stroll's going to probably go for it up around the outside. Can he make the move stick? It's a very tough move, this, if you are going to get this one to work. Let's see. He will have the outside line. Will that give him better traction? Hulkenberg certainly will also have the inside line. And I think Stroll will make the move here around the outside. Lovely move by Lance Stroll then there, and yeah, not bad indeed. And again, Sebastian taking a trip off the track then there at turn 1, and this is the final lap for Sebastian Vettel. As we head further down the field and just see the positions on this last lap, and it looks like that really the top 10 is all sorted. Then I think really the whole race order is sorted. I'm not going to lie, but maybe there is time for one last move for Nico Hulkenberg. We will see, as Hulkenberg still looking like he's actually got something left in him. We will see. Then here as Hulkenberg heads up into turn 1 behind Lance Stroll. This will be Lance Stroll's probably final opportunity to really make the move stick here and to hold on to that position. Or will Hulkenberg come back at the Canadian driver? And just don't look close enough for him. But we are going to head down the order as Vettel comes then around the final corner, I believe. Yes, it is. And he will take the win at the Austrian Grand Prix. A lovely finish. It's Bottas for second, Verstappen third, Hamilton fourth, Albon now coming around them there. So yeah, that's the race from there, and that's the final order. So 0.8 of a second splits the top 2, but only 2 seconds splitting the top 3 then there. That's your final race order. I hope you sort of enjoyed this video today, because I wanted to do it in this format, sort of to see if it would work on F1 2020, because I'm thinking of doing, well, in this format for F1 2020, showing the race replay rather than showing it from my perspective. You know, I thought I'd give it a go. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. You know, the only thing I will say, and I'm going to criticise myself here, it was very hard to keep an eye on what lap we were on. It wasn't easy to tell what lap we were on, or to tell the gaps between the drivers or where the actual action was happening, if that makes sense. But maybe in F1 2020 they've rectified that issue. I'm not too sure, and we'll see. But if you have enjoyed it either way, please leave a like. I hope you enjoyed the race. Certainly the action was between Sainz, Ricciardo and Raikkonen. But thank you for watching. Until the next time, folks, have a great day.